I've always been told that I live a perfect life. From the outside, it seemed like a dream come true. Married to Alex, a man of immense wealth and charm, but what they couldn't see was the price I paid for this gilded cage. My name is Sophia, and this is my story. Alex wasn't always cruel. When we first met, he was attentive and kind, showering me with gifts and affection. But once we were married, his true nature began to show. It started with small things, comments about my clothes, my hair, the way I spoke. Gradually, his control tightened. I was no longer allowed to wear what I wanted. I had to adhere to his strict rules. You must maintain your figure, he'd insist, restricting my diet to vegetables and water. To make matters worse, Alex forbade me from using a mobile phone, severing all my connections to the outside world. He feared I might reach out for help, and so he kept me cut off, completely isolated. The worst part was his disdain for my passion for writing. I loved creating stories, pouring my heart into words, but Alex mocked me, saying it's a childish waste of time. As time went on, Alex's cruelty escalated. He flaunted his many girlfriends in front of me as if I were invisible. He never touched me with tenderness, only cold indifference. I felt like a prisoner in my own home, my every move monitored by his loyal bodyguards. I was utterly alone, isolated from the world, no friends or family to confide in. My life had become a lonely and dark place, and I felt as if I were slowly fading away. But then, a glimmer of hope entered my life. Dr. Gray, a kind and compassionate man, came to our home twice a month for medical checkups. He was handsome and gentle, and he seemed to see beyond the facade of my life. Over time, I began to trust him and eventually confided in him about the true nature of my marriage. Dr. Gray understood my pain and offered me comfort in his own quiet way. One day, during one of his visits, Dr. Gray handed me a package along with my usual medication. Inside, there was something unexpected. It was a smartphone. For the first time in a long while, I felt a spark of hope. With trembling hands, I hid the phone in a secret compartment in my vanity. Late at night, I'd lock myself in the bathroom, pretending to take long baths, and pour my soul into my stories. Under the pseudonym Alyssa, I wrote about loneliness, love, and the pain of being trapped in a gilded cage. As I continued to write, I found myself smiling more often. But Alex noticed this change in me, and his cruelty intensified. He became even more controlling, suspicious of my newfound happiness. Yet, I clung to my secret life as a writer, pouring all my pain and hope into my stories. One day, the urge to reveal the truth about my life became too strong to ignore. I decided to write my true story, the reality of my life behind closed doors. When I published the story online, it quickly went viral. The response was overwhelming. People from all over the world read my words and resonated deeply with my experiences. Comments flooded in, with readers asking for my true identity. With newfound determination, I decided to reveal my identity. I recorded a video, speaking directly to the camera, and shared my story in my own voice. I uploaded it to Facebook, unmasking the truth. The response was immediate and overwhelming. People were shocked to learn the truth, and the public image of Alex was shattered. He was exposed for the cruel man he truly was, and I was finally free from his shadow. This is my story, a story of liberation and love. As I write these words, I hope that anyone who reads them knows that they too can break free from their own gilded cages, as we all deserve to live our lives as we choose, without fear or oppression. And that, my dear reader, is the true meaning of freedom.
Ryan was a kind young man who lived in a distant kingdom named Althea. He was content with his simple life, collecting medicinal plants to sell at the market. One day, he went to the jungle to find medicinal plants. He saw a bird trapped in a net. Ryan freed the bird and took it home. He treated its broken leg and wounds. He fed the bird fruits and cared for it. After 2 weeks, the bird was healthy again. One night, while Ryan was sleeping, he heard a female voice. "Ryan, thank you for saving my life," it said. He woke up and saw it was the bird speaking. "Don't be afraid of me," the bird said. "I see you have a good heart. I decided to talk with you." Ryan was shocked. "Who are you?" he asked. "I will tell you later," the bird replied. "Can I stay with you for a few more days?" "Of course, you can stay as long as you want," Ryan said. From that day, they did everything together. The bird helped Ryan find rare plants in the jungle. They talked about many things. One day, the bird said, "Ryan, I trust you now. I am not a bird. I am the princess of this kingdom who went missing 10 years ago." Ryan was shocked. "What happened to you?" he asked. "My father is a cruel man," the princess explained. "He wanted a son, not a daughter. He hated me. After my mother died, I cried every day. One day, a fairy heard my cry and turned me into a bird so I could escape." "Are you happy now?" Ryan asked. "Yes, but if I fall in love with a man, I must become human again," the princess said. "I think it's happening now." Suddenly, the bird turned into a beautiful young woman. "Ryan, will you marry me? If not, I will die. That's the rule." Ryan agreed. They got married and lived happily for a while. But neighbors, jealous of Ryan's beautiful wife, went to the king. They lied and said, "Ryan boasts that he is luckier than the king because he has a beautiful wife like a queen." The king became very angry. He sent palace guards to bring the princess while Ryan was away. When the princess was brought to the palace, the king saw the royal sign on her neck. He recognized her as his daughter. The king ordered the guards to lock her in a room. The princess cried and begged to be released. "You ran away from the palace. You must be punished," the king said angrily. The princess cried all night, knowing her father would kill Ryan. The fairy appeared again and said, "My dear, I can help you escape from the palace. I will turn you into a bird again. But remember, once you become a bird, you can never return to your human life." She agreed to the transformation and became a bird once more. She flew off to find Ryan. In a faraway place in the jungle, she found him. "Ryan, don't go home today. My father knows everything. He will kill you," she warned. "Why are you a bird again?" Ryan asked, heartbroken. The princess explained everything. Ryan cried, hugging the bird. The fairy appeared once more and said, "This is your fate. She cannot become human again." "Then can I become a bird?" Ryan asked. "No, Ryan," the princess cried. "I was disappointed by people. I don't want to live with them anymore. Let's live here together." The fairy turned Ryan into a beautiful bird. The bird couple flew away into the jungle and lived happily together forever.
Before everything changed, I believed that being praised by people and having an attractive appearance would make me a perfect person. But I was wrong. My name is Emma, and this is my story. This story began 4 years ago. At that time, I was a chubby girl who had just left college, dreaming of becoming a dancer. But my plus-size body and society's harsh judgments dragged me down. Everyone said I couldn't be a dancer and laughed at me. For a long time, I let those judgments control my life. I knew I needed to make a change. So, I took a leap of faith. I joined a dance academy, hoping it would be my chance to shine. Walking into that academy felt like stepping onto a battlefield. The other dancers eyed me with a mixture of curiosity and judgment. Every day was a struggle, every practice session a test of endurance. But then there was Lucas. He was the academy's top dancer, known for his grace and strength. From the moment I met him, something shifted. He saw me. Not the doubts, not the judgments. He saw the passion in me that I struggled to see in myself. Lucas became my rock. His belief in me was like a beacon in the storm. As we trained together, something incredible happened. Our connection deepened, and what started as professional guidance turned into something profoundly personal. Lucas's unwavering support and affection became a lifeline, and we fell deeply in love. Lucas asked me to be a contestant in the biggest dance competition in the country. He helped me perfect my dancing moves, and it was during those countless hours of practice that I found my strength and my voice. The day of the competition was both thrilling and terrifying. As I stepped onto the stage, it felt like the whole world was watching. With Lucas by my side, I poured my heart into every movement. When they announced my name as the winner, it felt like a dream come true. For the first time, I was truly happy. But just as I began to savor my triumph, my world tilted off balance. Dylan, a renowned dancer, was on the judging panel. His charm was magnetic, and the allure of his glamorous world was irresistible. When Dylan first showed interest in me, it was like a dream come true. His attention was intoxicating and grew day by day. As I basked in my newfound fame, the adoration and attention from the public made me feel overproud. Gradually, I began to neglect Lucas. Our time together, once cherished, was increasingly replaced by events and parties that promised instant gratification. I started to believe that Lucas was no longer enough for me, My focus shifted from the genuine connection we had built to the superficial allure of celebrity life. Dylan asked me to be his lover, and I was thrilled beyond words. Suddenly, I was the girlfriend of a celebrity, crush of every girl in the country. The validation I had longed for was finally mine. I was swept up in the glamour and excitement of Dylan's world, feeling like I was living in a fairy tale. But as the excitement with Dylan faded, interest in me began to wane. It became clear that to Dylan I was just a fleeting distraction, a girl he used for instant pleasure. The turning point came one night at a party. Dylan was there with another girl, and they were the center of attention. Seeing Dylan with someone else struck me like a knife to the heart. It was a painful realization that the fleeting romance I had chased was now a memory, replaced by someone new. Desperate to make amends, I reached out to Lucas, hoping for a chance to repair what I had broken. But Lucas had moved on and chosen a new path, one that no longer included me. The pain of losing him was a bitter reminder of the superficiality I had pursued. As time passed, I embarked on a painful journey of self-discovery. I realized that the genuine love I had in Lucas was something I had taken for granted, and it was only in losing him that I understood its true worth. I share my story with you to remind you of the importance of valuing what you have before it's gone. Sometimes we chase after illusions, only to find that what we had all along was far more valuable. True happiness comes from appreciating the genuine connections we form and the love we receive. Cherish them, nurture them, and never take them for granted.